Good evening, friends. Are we here? Yes, we are here. We are live. We got that. I see that we are just about to get together on YouTube there. I want to give my friends some time to get on here. I'm looking for some people. I'm looking for my number ones. And I need to turn down my volume so we don't have feedback there. Hey, y'all. Hey. See, I can hear myself there. Can y'all hear me okay? Because I had some technical difficulties. Oh, see. Okay. Hey, friends, are we here? I hope y'all don't get the echo. Please let me know if y'all are getting the echo. I know some people, well, actually, we don't have anybody on TikTok yet. So I want to give a few minutes for people to come in so I can talk to y'all tonight. I'm looking for my friends. I'm looking for some people. Hey, Beauty Love, I see you here. I am looking for Pretty P. I'm looking for Tanisha. I see we got some friends joining us on YouTube tonight. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. Okay, hey Eric, welcome. We're gonna be talking about manifesting tonight, y'all. And I literally just got in and threw this presentation together. So give me some grace. No, but I actually was on live earlier today and I was talking to some friends and I was showing them my manifesting, well, I was telling them like some of my manifesting stories and how about this video, this one particular video that I made, what I did to make that manifestation come through. And hello, YouTubers. Hello there. um And I want to in my mind, I was like, maybe I need to do a presentation on that because I've been strong on the affirmations lately for the past couple weeks. Please let me know if y'all can hear me, my TikTok people here. Can you hear me? And are you getting any feedback? Same on YouTube. Let me know if y'all can hear me and if there's any feedback. I know that there's a little bit of a delay and I have a couple of devices going here, so I want to make sure y'all aren't getting any feedback and any echoes. So let me know if we're good. But as you can see from the title, we are going to be talking about manifesting. I talk a lot about manifesting on my page. I have literally been manifesting some really good things into my experience, and I just wanted to share. Did I share the live? Who did I share the live with? Actually, I need to do that. So from there, let's see if I can actually do that. While y'all are here, I want to get a little bit more engagement before we really get started. Give some people some time to get on here. Oh, can I do this? Hold on, y'all. I think I'm trying to share this on Facebook. Let me see how this works. Well, okay. Hold on, y'all. No, it's not doing what I wanted to do. I don't want to share it there. I was trying to share it in my private group space on Facebook. But anywho, hey Miss Wisdom, thanks for dropping in. And I'm waiting for my friends to get here. Hopefully we'll have some more people to join us shortly. Dreams and transforming your goals into reality using the power of your mind. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump into things. Starting with what is manifesting? How Dog 7 Sugar 50. I see you over there. Hello and thank you for being here. JJRL, hello and thank you for being here. I'm still looking for my friends on TikTok, but I know that if they don't come in soon, I know they'll catch the repeat. As soon as they get in here, I know my TikTok is going to blow up with love. So I'll be patient. So manifesting, right? What is manifesting? Mm-hmm. Mhm. So we have some kind of different ideas, thoughts, definitions here of what manifesting is. To me, manifesting. Okay, so let's just kind of start with what we have here. Manifesting is the practice of turning your thoughts into reality by aligning your mindset, your energy, and your actions. So I kind of came into this space personally, going through a situation. It was actually a breakup in 2019 that I started saying affirmations that led me into going to college and pursuing my master's degree in the study of applied communication. So, in studying communication, in studying psychology and theories and different philosophies, I started to understand a lot about energy, words, and the power of positive thinking. So I remember when I was in college, the mission of my program, which was applied communication, was to foster the communicate. See, now I can't even think of it. to co-create, to co-create. I'll have to look it up, y'all. But basically, it was kind of like an educational term for manifesting. It was about co-creation, and it was about positive thoughts, positive thinking, and positive words to create your reality. And this was a while back, and I just was like, oh, that's really interesting. And so I studied that when I was in school, obviously, and then, going through life, having finished both of my degrees, positive thoughts and positive communication is always something that has just been a part of who I am. I kind of call myself the eternal optimist because I try to at least find the silver lining in any situation. Even if I'm going through a tough situation, I try to stay hopeful. I try to stay upbeat. And even in, trauma, I try to see the good. I try to see the lesson. Okay. And so that experience going through, trauma and, things like that kind of led me on a journey of personal development, healing, introspection. And so that included, you know, affirmations, just saying affirmations at first, but then also studying, the science of affirmations and understanding why this is actually working for me and how this is helping me to feel better. So again, I've been kind of sharing with you guys every day a lot about affirmations and the science of affirmations every day. And today, when I was on live earlier, we kind of got into this other conversation that made me think about, hey, I want to share some of my practices that some of the things that I've manifested in my life. Um, Literally, that has been everything from a job that I wanted, making a certain salary that I wanted, driving the car that I have, living where I wanted to live, even moving um, out of state and getting my dream job as a flight attendant. These were all things that I have manifested intentionally through thought and, of course, aligned action, right? So, your thoughts create your reality. That is kind of a core principle, a core foundational idea of manifesting. Your thoughts create your reality. I've been doing a whole lot of content about that lately. Your energy attracts what you focus on. I'm a huge fan of Joe Dispenza, and one of the things that Joe Dispenza like lives by is where your attention goes, your energy flows. Hey, Tanisha, thank you for being here. I had to pop back over here. I had to pop back over here. I'm dueling it out today. Thank you for being here, friend. I appreciate your patience. We're talking about manifesting tonight, and I was telling the people how this presentation right here kind of manifested from our conversation earlier today when me, you, and P were all talking earlier about affirmations, and I was sharing with you all literally my manifestation practices, which we're gonna get to in just the next slide. But I wanted to start with, of course, giving you some terms, giving you some definition, giving you some foundation of what manifesting actually is, right? Because a lot of people talk about manifesting now, so what the heck is it? So, manifesting is the practice of turning your thoughts into reality by aligning your mindset, energy, and actions. Okay. It's levels to it. Most people, I think, feel like, oh, you just thinking about something. Well, yeah, you are thinking about it, but there's intentions that go behind it. We talked about that earlier today in our session on affirmations. Um, so again, foundational tenets of manifesting: your thoughts create your reality. That's big. You're gonna hear me say that again and again if you continue to follow me. I'm really big on energy. Your energy attracts what you focus on. You're gonna hear me quote this Joe Dispenza quote at least a dozen times, in a week. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. And if you don't know what that means, what it shows up in your life. You can kind of equate it to the law of attraction if you know anything about the law of attraction, but it is basically the idea that whatever you think about, whatever your dominant thoughts are, that is what you will see manifested in your life, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's indifferent. Okay. And then the third bullet point here, your actions align with your desires. So your thoughts, your energy, and then your actions. Those are going to be the three tenets, the three kind of foundational things that we'll go back to and we'll kind of weave back and forth with when we talk about manifesting. Let me hop back over here. Yeah, Tanisha, we had a real good conversation earlier. I'm waiting to see if P is going to join in, looking for my friend Pretty P. I know it's late. Um, I went out to dinner and got in kind of late, but this was just when I was driving back. I was so excited and I was so energized. I was like, I'm gonna go home and do this right now. Don't worry, there will be a replay. Y'all will have an opportunity to get this again and again and again. Why? Because repetition and consistency helps with manifestations. That is, rewiring our brain. That's how we rewire our brains. Repetition and consistency, neuroplasticity, you know. Um, okay. Mm-hmm. And I still have to create the live event for this Sunday, Tanisha. I just got busy and I started moving around, but we are gonna go deeper on Sunday. And I got started before, so we're gonna get into it on Sunday. Thank you for putting that. Not that it wasn't on my mind. I need to do it tonight because tomorrow is Wednesday and I need to be promoting this live event that I'm going to be doing on Sunday. I want to start promoting it tomorrow, really today. Anywho, anywho, y'all ready to move along? I see Tanisha is lighting my engagement thing up over here, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I don't know how it works on YouTube if y'all can double tap the screen over there, but your engagement means a lot. Your engagement means a lot to us here on these platforms, getting before y'all with lights, camera, action. And again, I'm big on energy. So when I see y'all in the comments, when I see y'all engaging and interacting with me, it helps me to be here. So I appreciate your presence. All right, let's kind of stroll it along here. And we're gonna go to the first manifestation method. Now, we did talk about this a little bit earlier. I have shared videos about the 3 times 33 manifestation method on my YouTube. No, haven't. I don't think I've shared about it on YouTube because I'm new to YouTube. I've only been on YouTube for about 2 or 3 weeks now. Technically, I've been on there for 8 years. Technically, I've had a YouTube account and a YouTube. I didn't start actively posting to my YouTube account until like 3 weeks ago. And I thank y'all for that engagement over there because y'all have been really, really receptive to my content in the world of YouTube. So thank y'all too. Getting back to the 3 times 33 manifestation method, let me read it here. Okay. So, and also, Tanisha, is there an echo on TikTok? Please let me know if there's an echo because I have two browsers open and I hear a little feedback, but if y'all don't hear it, we'll make it work. Okay. Okay. It's a little bit of a delay, but I think that, okay, no echo. We're good. Thank you, Tanisha. So, the 3 times 33 manifestation method. And I have not done the research into why it is 3 times 33. You know, I'm not into like numerology or anything, but I do know that a lot of people are into angel numbers. I don't know a lot about angel numbers, but I like the idea of it. I like the sound of it. So if there is some kind of reasoning, and especially if it's some science behind it, let me know because I'm here for you. I know I'm here for the science. But I would just imagine that in general, the rule of thumb is again because repetition and consistency matters. That is important when we are trying to rewire our brains, which we need to do at a subconscious level if we are trying to manifest something. If we are trying to create a new mindset, if we are trying to go from lack and scarcity to abundance, we got to do some work, you know. And the thing is, as simple, the reason I'm coming out here and showing y'all is because I feel like as simple as it is, and as often as we hear that we should be doing these things, um, people don't do it. And I was one of those people for a long time. I would buy books, I would buy, planners and journals, and they would look so pretty collecting dust. And you know how at the beginning of the year you buy a brand new planner and you have all these hopes of getting your life together, getting your shit together in the new year because you bought this pretty new planner and it sits there. You might write in a couple times, but you don't really organize your life the way you should. Same thing. And manifesting methods. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm here, Tanisha. That's why I'm here. And on Sunday, we are going to take some intentional time to do some activities that we actually need to do. So, okay, here we are, 3 times 33 manifestation method. Now I broke these out because like I said earlier, I showed y'all that I come in here and like I actually write in here. And it's one thing to see a video on social media that tells you to practice the 3 times 33 manifestation method by writing your affirmations 33 times for 3 days straight. It's one thing to hear about it and see that video and save it and like it and get the little dopamine that you get from getting it, you know, feeling hopeful, but it hit different when you actually do it. It hits different when you actually do it, when you actually take action. And that's part of the plan, right? So let's go back to slide 1. We start with a thought. when we're manifesting, it starts with the thought. Yes, your thoughts create your reality. It starts with the thought. It doesn't end with that thought. The Bible says faith without work is dead. Okay. So you can't just have faith. That's a part of the equation, but you got to put in the work. Okay. So your thoughts create your reality. Your energy attracts what you focus on. And part of your energy is it takes energy to come in here and write these words. The words themselves are energy. Okay. And your actions align with your desires. So, again, there's that piece again. Those are those three components: thoughts, energy, action, aligned action. Okay. So, coming back to the 3 times 33 manifestation method, did I freeze? Am I frozen? Can y'all still hear me? Because I am frozen on my screen, but hopefully I see I'm still moving over there. So the 3 times 33 manifestation method, okay? Um, I do my when I am doing the 3 times 33 manifestation method, I naturally tend to make this one of the first things that I do in the morning. Maybe not the very first thing that I do, because obviously, you may get up and go around your house and stuff, but when I actually kind of come to this room, which is like probably my favorite room in my home, probably. I come here and I have the sunlight coming in, and I always kind of start my day here, whether I'm working out or whether I am. Right now, what my morning routine looks like is I am doing an abundance calibration. So that is what I've been doing for the past week. I am working on my own mindset. I am working to calibrate my mind from lack and scarcity to abundance. So there are different things that I do in the morning that include um, journaling, saying my affirmations, just sitting here to be present. Sometimes I sit here and I have a cup of tea and I have my 432 hertz, or like my Schumann resonance, um, you know, sounds playing in the background. I get up and I water my plants. Sometimes I will do yoga. Sometimes I do the little stair step machine, not often, but just little things as part of my morning routine. Um, I've shared with you all before that in the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, he referenced a research study about productivity. And what he found was that most people's productivity declines after the first 6 hours they wake up. So, for example, if you wake up at 6 in the morning, you have between 6 a.m. and 12 noon to be your most productive. Research showed that after the first 6 hours of you being awake, your productivity declines. Okay. Is a running joke. When I was working a job, that 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock slump comes in the afternoon. I would always joke and tell my boss, like, hey, uh my productivity is gone down. You know what I'm saying? I'm done working for the day. And because I worked in higher education, we really, anytime we had an argument or we wanted to request something, we had to show research. So I would always kind of reference that research study to my director when I was tired of working or I wanted to leave early or go home for the day. Hey friend, Pretty P, I see you like me up in the over here on TikTok. Thank you for being here, friend. We're talking about manifesting tonight, kind of based off of a little bit off of our conversation earlier today. Me, you, okay. And speaking of that, P, I know you got the book. I know you said you got this book, didn't you? You told me you got this book. And I told you I was listening to it. I'm currently listening to it in my car. So I'm on chapter 14, and he talks about a mastermind and the power of basically collective energy, which the Bible kind of talks about two or more being gathered. Okay, yes, I thought you said you had it. So, thinking about the idea of a mastermind to me is kind of, in a biblical sense, when two or more gather together, God is in the midst. And he says in chapter 14 that the collective energy not only helps the collective, but it also intentions of each member of the mastermind. So when I was listening to that today, I literally thought about you and Tanisha, and I was just like, they're in my mastermind. And I think I'm going to talk more about this on Sunday because I do want a mastermind. I do want a community of like minded women who have similar beliefs to me, who have similar goals to me. And we can come together to support each other, to inspire each other, to encourage each other. To bounce ideas off each other, to talk about this book and interpret it together, and to learn from each other. So, Tanisha, Pretty P, yes, I'm excited that you're excited. And I'm excited, period. So, I was telling Tanisha before you got on here, P. Um, Let me go back over to my streaming thing. Okay. So the 3 times 33 manifestation method, what I was saying was we know about these tools, right? We know about different things that we should do that we're supposed to do. What happens oftentimes, and what happened with me for a long time, was that for some reason, I thought just knowing about the methods would help me manifest better. I thought for some reason just having possession of the book that told me about what I was supposed to do would help some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't until I applied it. And y'all can look at the dates on here. This was just in August. This was literally the month of August when I really, really started manifesting hard and started taking it seriously and started doing the work and started intentionally waking up every day to write down these manifestations 33 times. And I did it consistently. Even when I didn't feel like it, I did it. I would not let my head hit the pillow. It was like prayer to me. you know I was just like, my head is not hitting this pillow until I intentionally get in this space, and put this energy out into the universe. I am in alignment with the frequency of wealth and abundance. I did that one, and I shared with y'all before, earlier, the other of abundance. I have some specific ones here that I kind of interchange for a few days. I am grateful that money flows to me in expected and unexpected ways. And I put the specific dollar amount of money that I needed or that I wanted, that I was manifesting. Okay. So it's one thing to know about these methods. It is a whole nother one to actually apply them, put them into practice. So this is just the first one. And I think I prefer this one as opposed to the 369 method, which we're going to go about next. I think, me personally, I've done the 369 manifestation method, but I will say it is harder for me anyway to do the 369 method because the 369 method is incremental, meaning just like it says, you're going to write your intention 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times at night. And sometimes if you miss that, 1 for 6, times in the afternoon, you'll tell yourself you're going to double up at night. But number one, the reason I didn't like it is because I felt like my my desire, my energy in doing that was even throwing it off, because I went from being in the energy of hopeful to it started to become a chore. Like if I missed the afternoon one at 6 and then 9 o'clock came around, I didn't feel like writing it 6 times plus 9 times, and it felt like a chore to me. So I have found more success. I have found the ability to be more consistent using the 3 times 33 manifestation method, because even though this is a little bitty notebook here, I have counted out how many lines I need to make it 33. So the whole first page is going to be however many, and then I have a little marker to get me to the 33 lines on the next page. And so if I do it first thing in the morning, again, you know how your energy states shift throughout the day. Um, and even the productivity, you know what I'm saying? Your energy levels change through the day. So for me, I have more energy in the morning. So if I can get up and make the 3 times 33 manifestation method, if I can get that done first thing, it's like I don't have to worry about it. And knowing that I already have done something that is helping me manifest, I've already done it. I can literally check that off of my to-do list for the day. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to think about it. I'm not going to get behind on it. And that in itself makes me feel more productive. It energizes me because I'm just like, dang, okay, I already got something done. You know what I'm saying? And then when you start doing it and you go back and you start looking at these pages over days and days, I don't know, it does something to me subconsciously or mentally, and it just makes me feel like I'm actually doing something. I'm actually doing something to get towards my manifestation. So, yeah. So, you got to play around with them sometimes. So, these are just two. The first two, we have the 3 times 33 manifestation method, which so let me go back and look at the three. So write your affirmations 33 times for 3 days. Okay. I think that's what it was. I ended up probably doing mine for more than 3 days because my manifestation didn't just drop out of the sky like, the people on TikTok say theirs do. So I probably did mine for maybe like a week, maybe even 10 days or a little bit more than that. I was doing it for the month of August. So I will say if you just want me to put a time limit on it, I'll say I diligently did this, put in this effort, put in this energy for maybe 2 weeks before I got the call that I needed to get about the money that I needed to get. Okay. Um, so that was just my experience. Okay, so 3 days. Feel free to do it more than 3 days. Of course, we're going to write this in present tense. You have the example there. We know the structure of what our affirmations need to be. And again, this repetition programs your subconscious mind. Write it with feeling, not just words. Again, some days I woke up and didn't have the feelings. I didn't have the emotions for it. I felt like I was just going through the motions. But guess what? It's still energy. It still counts. So just do it. It's working. I promise you, it's working. Even when it doesn't seem like it's working out, it's working. Y'all know that. Okay. Okay, circling back to the 369 manifestation method. Some people really like this. Some people really like style is set up, and even depending on like your personality type. The 369 method may work for you and you like it, and you may not like it. Again, I did try this method 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, 9 times at night. That personally did not resonate with me. So that one didn't stick. But I want to share it with you because my experience may be different from yours. Okay. And I just want to equip you with tools of what you can do. This last one, y'all, this last one, the scripting method. Do y'all know what this is, first of all? I think I need to refresh my TikTok. I feel like I'm stuck. My screen is stuck anyway, but I let me refresh this real quick because I feel like I'm stuck. But the scripting method, y'all. Okay, I think we back here. This is like the story of your future self. Journal as if your dream has already happened. Use details, emotions, reread it often to embody the feeling. The more real it feels, the faster it flows to you. So, y'all, I have experimented with the scripting method a couple of times, and I actually used Chat GPT, and I was trying to find the prompt that I used, and I'll have to find it for y'all and share it with y'all tomorrow because I don't know if you were on here when I was saying after I got back from dinner tonight, which was probably just before 9. I think I got in the house like a quarter to 9 o'clock. And I was like, oh, it's too late to go on here. I didn't have anything planned for this evening, and I knew I didn't want to come back and do the same redundant affirmation presentation that we did earlier today. I wanted to give y'all something new, especially coming off our conversation. And so I came home at 8:45, literally threw these slides in Canva and came in here tonight. So this is not my best work, but it's something. It's my effort to show up and to be consistent. Um and like I said, I don't have the prompt that I use for Chat GPT, but I want to share it with you. And in fact, I think I got it from TikTok. I think it was a video that had a prompt that went viral on TikTok. Hmm. I'll find it because I know I have it saved in my Chat GPT. I can go back and because I actually put it in a Google document because y'all, it was so personal to me. And the prompt was just crazy, but I actually did read this script, and I don't want to get too detailed. I don't want to get too detailed about it right now. I'll tell y'all about it at a later time in a safer space, even though this is a safe space. Um, but I'll just say like I tried it and it was kind of crazy. It was kind of crazy. Like, whoa. Maybe I need to do that again because let me see if I got so many tabs open on my computer right now, y'all. I we'll just have to put this on for tomorrow. Um, Not only will I share the prompt that I use, but I'm also share the output that ChatGPT gave me. Mm. Mm-hmm. Tanisha, what do you mean when you ask the question, is it like a mind dump? You mean the scripting? Kinda, sorta. Kinda, sorta. Um, dang it. Dang it. It's not completely like a mind dump. It is more like kind of like a bedtime story about you. Like you can either get something and create your own story, whether you want to write it in your own hand. A lot of teachings say to write it in your own hand. They say that helps with your subconscious because you're getting it in two ways. You're getting the tactile experience of actually writing it, and you get the visual, programming it that way. Me personally, well, yeah, with like the 3 times 33 and 369, yes, I'll write that by hand. But when I did do the scripting, it was so long. And I'm at my computer most of the day anyway. I just started typing in a Google document It was a specific situation actually with a specific person. And I basically like a movie script, like you write a movie script of how you want your day to go, how you want a situation to play out, whether it is an interview, you script out how you want it to go. Basically, oh, there's another book um that I started on but haven't really gotten into, but I've been seeing a lot of people on TikTok talk about The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. And she talks about something called morning pages. And so basically that is a brain dump from the little bit, the little portions of the book that I have read. But scripting is not like a mind dump. It's more specific to you and like what you want to happen. So you basically write out this script for, let's say your birthday is coming up and say you want to experience this romantic night, or even if it's not your birthday, you know, um, say you meet a new person and you getting ready to go out on a date for the first time, or you and your person, y'all been kind of rocky and you like, we need to shift the energy. You script out, hey, how you want it to go, what you want it to look like. And this is actually, I actually kind of do this in as a mini manifestation. I wake up, basically rehearse how I want my day to go. I will envision um maybe one thing I want to happen. I want to get a phone call from this person today. I'm manifesting an email about an opportunity from this person. And I imagine how I want it to go. Literally, literally, and this is a true story. I have been talking about manifesting a trip to Bali, right? And y'all, this company reached out to me and asked me to host a retreat. The only reason I haven't done it is because I got in the way of it. I got in my head, about stuff. I kind of mm, have not been initiating communication or even responsive in my communication, which is not the best for branding and business purposes. But literally, the opportunity for me to go to Bali, like I said I wanted to do, came to me. And y'all, I cried tears. I did a video about it. This was last year. This was literally probably this time last year. And I was like, how did you even find me? you know? And me and the lady stayed on a video call for like an hour and we talked about energy and we connected. Luckily she did leave the invitation open. I still have her contact information. So I'm sure that I will still manifest my trip to Bali with hopefully my, mastermind, some members of my mastermind when the time is right. Um, so yeah, scripting, you know what I'm saying? Do it in your own handwriting. Ask Chat GPT to help you out. But it's really as simple as, if I could script out how I wanted my day to go today, or how I want my weekend to go, or how I want my birthday to go, what would that look like? What outfit would I wear? Where specifically would I go to dinner? Who would I go to dinner with? you know, uh, put it in your mind like, yep, I can see myself taking selfies. You know what I'm saying? I can see myself creating content around this moment. I know what perfume I'm gonna wear. I know how I'm gonna wear my hair, who's gonna do my makeup, how am I gonna feel? I'm gonna feel so pretty. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be on one because it's my birthday. Script it out. Script it out you know and once you script it out, a part of the method is to read it like a bedtime story. That was how I did mine when I manifested the situation that I wanted with a person. I read it every night, um, like it was a bedtime story. Y'all know I do my affirmations when I go to sleep at night. I put like a little earbud in, I listen to my affirmations. Well, I have a voice recorder app on my phone. And so I recorded my story. And I think I just called it something like Deja's life story. And I just recorded it and I would listen to it in my voice. And another thing too, Tanisha, it doesn't even have to be specific to one thing. I have tried it in other areas and it was kind of more long term, if you will. And it was just, oh, Tanisha, thank you for them little headphones, whatever that was. The scripting life story can also be something that you consistently read to kind of help you um like visualize. Because again, when you're scripting it out, you're going to go into detail. And then when you go back and you listen to that story about you, you can visualize it in your mind. And so yeah, I did that. I did that. And I really do like the scripting method. And I'm putting a note to myself, music bubbles. Okay. Which book are you said you heard good things about? I did talk about this one, A Happy Pocket Full of Money, that I am rereading. Oh, The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. And which app do I use? It is literally just I'm a Galaxy girl, so it is just a voice recorder that's in the Play Store. Nothing specific, not any name brand app. I just use the one on my phone. And another thing too, Tanisha and P, both of y'all, I tell y'all about how, well, I don't use an alarm to get up now, but when I did, when I was working, you got to get up to an alarm. I changed my alarm from like the standard beat beat, whatever the sounds are. I put an affirmation in my voice. At first, I had started out with that Beyonce sound, this like don't just talk about what you're going to do. Don't just dream about what you're going to do. Don't criticize someone else for what they're not doing. You be it, do it. Um that Y'all know that sound bite of Beyonce. I had used that, and actually I think I still do because I turned on my phone. I had my phone on for whatever reason, my other phone, and my alarm went off one day last week, and it was Beyonce. So just different practical things like that. And the reason is because when you first wake up in the morning, we're what? We're in the beta state. We're in that theta brainwave state. So if you are asleep and you wake up to a positive affirmation first thing in the morning and your mind is in that theta state, guess what? You are in the prime time, your subconscious is primed at that moment to receive information. You're super open, you are super receptive to receiving. So that's why change, hey, another little tidbit. Whatever alarm you have now, let's switch it up. The alarm thing is different. Yeah, try it. It's so many inspirational sound bites here. You can download videos off of TikTok, and my alarm on my phone, you know how they have all of the different sounds in there that you can choose from. Well, if you have the option to upload a sound, upload that sound and make that be your daily alarm, and that be literally how you wake up. I've had it wake me up to morning prayers. TikTok sometimes has a whole lot of good morning prayers. You know what I'm saying? um I don't know who it is, but it's like an AI voice. I used to get these prayers that will come through my TikTok a lot, and I have posted a lot of, not a lot of them, but I've posted a few of them on my page. So yeah, that's just one way to literally start your day off with the, positive intention, speaking some life into you. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It needs to be loud because waking up is a struggle. Well, see, I think I'm a pretty light sleeper, but I was in bed when that Beyonce went off a couple days ago, and my phone was on the dresser, which I did have to get up out of the bed and turn it off, what I'm saying. But yeah, that's just one tip, one little tip. I'm telling y'all like things that I do, things that I, practices that I'm actually doing and stuff like that. So, yeah. Mhm. What other questions, what other comments do we have? So far we have talked about so far we've gone over 3 manifestation methods. We've gone over scripting. We have gone over 369. We have gone over times 33. These 3 methods. I'm gonna start with Tanisha. She's my number one. Which one do you feel like most resonates with you? Which one can you actually see yourself doing? I'm gonna ask the other 2 people. I see Pretty P and Yazelle. So you're not a morning person. That's an area where you need discipline. That's the thing though. Well, you don't have to do 3 times 33, morning, afternoon, and night. 3, what is it? 3 times 33. Some people are night people. And Tanisha, that could be something that could be a part of your nighttime ritual. Before you go to bed, your brain is slowing down anyway. You could use the last few minutes, you know, like incorporate it into your nighttime routine. I don't know, like me, I get in the shower, I do my skincare, my retinol, I put my little things on my eyes, I brush my teeth, I get in my bed, I turn on YouTube to my black screen and whatever sounds I want. Um, and I put in my earbuds and say my affirmations. Whatever your routine is, take it, it will take you. And I think I actually timed it how long it took me to write the 3 times 33, Tanisha. Start somewhere. And I'm gonna be honest with you, do it all in one sitting. Do it all in one sitting. Yeah, your arm, your wrist is gonna get tired. Yes, your mind is gonna get distracted, and yes, you're gonna be writing and probably not even thinking about what it is that you're writing. That's okay. That's okay. Because guess what? When that book starts to fill up with affirmations day after day after day, you are going to be so proud of yourself. And that's building discipline. If you don't start, if you don't start somewhere, then obviously you're not going to have any discipline. But even if you start and you don't finish, or even if you start and you fall off, start again. The goal is the goal. So if we want to get to the goal, we got to keep moving. We got to keep making efforts. We have to keep taking aligned actions. And me, myself, Tanisha, I'm not going to sit up here and be like, oh, yeah, I do it every single day. Some days I don't. Even those days that I don't, though, I feel like because I have a toolbox of other things that I can go to, if I don't journal one day, that's okay. Because guess what? I may not do 3 times 33, but guess what? I'm playing spend $1,000 in one day. Y'all know the game I told you about, you know, or I know if I don't do anything else, I know the first thing when I get up in the morning, when I'm still in the bed, I know I'm going to give gratitude first thing in the morning, and that's going to be the last thing I do at night. So, if I don't do anything else, and those are just mental exercises, and that's okay with me if I don't actually physically write out practice my manifestation methods because I know I'm doing other things to manifest. I know that I'm going through my and then writing out some stuff. I know that I'm being aware of my energy and my vibration and how I want to feel. I know that I'm practicing my core desired feelings that we talked about today. I know I'm aligning with the frequency of my manifestation, even if I don't write out 3 times 33 every day. The reason I did do it though, Tanisha, is because I told y'all I was in a little bit of a tight situation with something to come through. And I was like, okay, the people are saying this works. I've been hearing them, but I haven't actually applied it. I was saying affirmations, but sometimes I feel like, you know how your body can get immune to like medicine, and so it doesn't work anymore. Not saying that my affirmations didn't work, but I'm saying that trying something new, incorporating a new practice may have stimulated a different part of my brain. Does that make sense? Mhm. Even yes, you just got to keep going, Tanisha. Y'all know I started my 90-day manifestation challenge September 1st. I have not even showed up here if I'm being completely honest. I have not even showed up here on live every single day. Even then, you know what I'm saying? I give myself grace. I'm like, "Hey, that's okay. I'm learning. I'm growing. I'm coming into this woman." You know what I'm saying? I'm not all the way her. That's why I'm, on this journey to become her. And even when I'm not showing up live, I'm like, you know what? It's okay because I'm working behind the scenes. I'm working on these presentations so that when I do come back on, I have something to say. I know that I'm still practicing saying my affirmations. I know I'm still meditating. I know I'm still praying. I know I'm still being aware of how I want to feel. I know I'm still posting content. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, maybe I'm not doing all the things every day, but I'm moving. The needle is moving. I'm taking action. I'm still showing up. Imperfect, inconsistent. you know. Yes. Does that help y'all? Can I can I ask where y'all from? And then Tanisha, I do and then P, I'm sorry, I do want to know which one of these manifestation methods you feel like you can actually see yourself doing. Application is not enough. Just yeah, it's not enough. They say when you know better, you do better. Well, that's not always the case. We know better a lot of the time. We know about the scripted method. We know about meditation. We know about, the benefits of going to the gym. That doesn't mean we do it just because we know that it's good for us. It's not about perfection. And girl, that hit a little different because um Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just before I got on here, P, literally just before I got on here on live just now, a video came up on my TikTok and said, your need to be perfect is going to stop you every time. And that felt personal because I am a self-proclaimed perfectionist. The reason I can probably honestly say one of the reasons why I'm not all the way there yet is because I do get in my head. Because I see that version of myself and I be trying to put out content on her level, and you know what I'm saying? I be trying to put out content on her level and I'm just like, well, D, you gotta do what you can do right now. You're only one person. My higher self, she has a team. She has systems in place. She has more knowledge than I do. She has more experience than I have. So I see in my mind all of these things that I want to do. And then that's another problem because I have all these desires that are related to what I'm doing here now, manifesting, glowing up, affirmations, because I'm a creative person and I feel like I'm a visionary because I have all these ideas and because I have so much that I want to do. I get excited and sometimes overwhelmed by the ideas that will stop me. I'll freeze because I have all of these amazing $1 million ideas, but then I have trouble. Well, what should I do first? Well, how am I going to execute this? Okay, well, what is going to happen? Get glitch with it. All of these things, you know what I'm saying? That's how I know that's how I know we here. That's how I know y'all my people. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, my baby is in the military. My nephew's in the military and he's in Virginia. Okay. So Tanisha, you chose the 3 times 30. Okay, both of y'all feel like y'all gonna try the 3 times 33 method. Next question. Tanisha, at what point in your day do you actually see yourself doing that? And then P, I like writing pretty much daily anyways. Okay, okay, okay. I get that. Mhm. Yeah. Oh, y'all lighting up my comments, T and P and Tanisha. Man, y'all, I appreciate y'all. Where did y'all come from? How did y'all even find me? Yeah, y'all my number ones. The reason I'm asking is because just a small little moment of visualization. We are connected in here, girl. At the top of the workday, after you have your morning hustle settled. Okay, okay, okay. I like that. I like that. When I was working, I felt like that too, because I felt like, oh, you got to be at work at 8 o'clock. But luckily, when I got to my office, I used to work on appointments. And so my calendar, I knew what my day looked like. And so if my first appointment wasn't until 9 or 10, I got some time to chill and do what I want to do. And so a lot of the time I would allocate for my own personal stuff, before I actually started working. Okay, okay. I like how you said my higher self would get up early in the morning. Um, so that sounds good and that may work for you. I popped up on your FYP like a week or two ago. Ooh. So Tanisha, I like how you said my higher self would get up early enough to get it done before work. My higher self used to say the same thing, but my current self disagreed with my higher self. Did y'all see that video I just posted about your current self versus your higher self? Did y'all see that video that I just posted today? Well, um just before I got on here. Girl, this talk right here is the vibe. This is the vibe. For real. That's all I see on my timeline. When I see other people on live, I be jumping in their lives, talking to them. I be taking like different classes. You know what I'm saying? I took a manifestation course. There's another girl here on TikTok. I took uh it was like a manifestation workshop of hers. Oh Jesus, I can't think of her name. And I'm on her email list. She sends me emails every day. Ask me about it maybe tomorrow. I want to say her name is Kennedy. Um, yeah. And it was really, really inspiring. It was really, really inspiring. This was probably about a month or so ago. So when we get off this live, Tanisha, basically what I was talking about is, and we probably have touched on this conversation before, but what I am learning on my journey is that there are all these different parts of myself. Mostly my current self or my old self. And then, of course, there's my higher self, or, maybe you want to call it your future self. Oftentimes, what happens is those two selves are in opposition. My higher self wanted to get up early in the morning, and how most people, you want to wake up early in the morning, go to the gym, get your workout in first thing, in the day. You want to meal prep, you want to, meditate and say your affirmations, you want to do the things. Okay, that's your higher self. But then you got this current self who has been here living in your body for all this time. She doesn't want to go away. And so on my journey, I'm learning how to honor my current version because she's gotten me here to this point. And I try to honor her. I try to listen to her, and I try to speak gently to her from my higher self. Is basically learning to try to reconcile both of those parts of me to live together, if that makes sense, without sounding too whatever. But yes. Mhm. Mhm. Um, yeah. Yeah. I did a coaching session, and this was last year, and y'all, it was like a real breakthrough. And I'm saying my current self or my old self, and come to find out, the version of me that comes up that I'm still battling with is like a version of myself from like my late 20s, early 30s. That version of me just didn't know what she didn't know. She made a lot of mistakes. She wasted time and energy on people. She didn't believe in herself. She lost confidence. And that's a part of me. I mean, that is a part of me. Now, my my glowed up self, my healed self, you know, wants to take the driver's seat, but my 20-year-old self still be, you know what I'm saying, coming up at times when she need to just chill. You know what I'm saying? Here my higher self is trying to balance my checkbook, and my 20-year-old self is like, oh, come on, let's clear out this Amazon cart today. You know what I'm saying? Because my one of my core desire feelings is to feel pleasure. And I'm be honest with y'all, I love spending money. I love spending money. I don't care what it's on. DoorDash, Amazon, uh anything, grocery shopping, other people. I just like spending money. That makes me feel good. I get pleasure. I love buying gifts. I love doing surprises for other people. I like showing people, you know, what they mean to me. And a lot of times I like to give gifts. I like to thoughtfully go shopping for a person, and then see the reaction on their face, even if it's something small, you know? So, but again, you know what I'm saying? Also trying to be more financially responsible, trying to be a better steward over my finances, right? I got to reconcile those two. And sometimes my and I have to learn how to be gentle with that side of myself. So when they say give yourself grace, like I literally, y'all, be coaching myself, talking myself off the ledge sometimes, because I recognize that this is just a part of me. Sometimes it's my 17-year-old self who was in high school and who people perceived to be a certain way when she really wasn't, and she was just misunderstood. Sometimes I still recognize that version of myself coming up. Sometimes and that may be what the people call your inner child. I don't know if I have, and maybe I do, maybe I just haven't gotten to that point in my journey yet. But I've not necessarily had issues as a child. Now, was my childhood, peaches and cream growing up? No. I had a good childhood for a lot of my childhood. I would say probably up until the point where my parents did separate. But most of my childhood, memories are good ones. Like, I remember growing up in a two-parent household. I remember having a home, a backyard, a dog, going on family vacations, doing pageants, and I had a really good childhood. When I got in those like adolescent years, teenage years, that is when things started getting difficult, because that is when my dad went to jail and my parents separated. And me and my sisters started to experience the effects of my mom's drug addiction. A little too much. Um, but for the most part, my childhood was, really good experiences. But all of that to say, there are just different parts of me that I am, seeing, that I'm recognizing, that I'm becoming aware, even in even in my relationships with my mom sometimes. Because of my mom's drug addiction, when I was in my 20s and my mom was really bad on drugs, I felt like our relationship flipped, and I became the parent and she became the child, cuz she was homeless. She was on the streets. She was coming asking me for money. I was enabling her, you know? Um and so now, 20 years later, her being clean, I recognize sometimes that in the way I speak to her, I be like, you gotta chill. And I don't be just saying stuff out of the way, but I'm so self-aware that even just when I say a little something, it bothers me. And I be like, it slipped out. You know what I'm saying? And I recognize that I need to handle my mom differently, or not. I need to handle her differently, but I need to be more aware of how I communicate with her. Sometimes I just find, it's not even necessarily what I say, it's more so the way I say it. I catch myself using a tone, or I've caught myself using a tone where it's like, and I hate to admit this, but damn, it's almost like I don't want to say the word condescending, but for a lack of a better word, you know what I'm saying? Because I did feel like I'm the parent, I gotta tell you, it's just crazy. So, um, we talk about trauma and stuff, and another thing, this just popped in my mind. I um was a co-writer on a research paper of mother-daughter relationships. And I didn't recognize it at that time, but now, hindsight 2020, I'm like, oh, now I see the relevance of that study. I was doing the study at that time because I was getting paid to do it. I was a graduate assistant. And so, I was getting paid to do that research and work on that paper. And it really wasn't of interest to me at that time. But now, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, yeah, baby, there are some dynamics between mother-daughter relationships. I didn't recognize that, probably because I was so close to it. You know how sometimes if you too close to a mirror, you can't see it. Yeah. Yes. I'm glad. Yes, the girls that get it. I'm glad you get it, Tanisha. Um, yes. So just a lot. We all have experiences, life experiences that have shaped us. And again, y'all, I'm just learning. I'm just growing. I am evolving. I don't get it right every day. And I'm smart enough to know, even when I do fully step into being her, you still not gonna get it right all the time. Y'all, I love Beyonce, and one of my favorite things to say is like, even Beyonce doesn't get it right every day. Beyonce probably has one of the most amazing lives, right? With the ability to do pretty much anything she wants to do. And even still, Beyonce still have bad days. Beyonce still go through stuff with her bed. Beyonce still has 3 kids that she has to attend to. Beyonce probably still, I mean, not probably, Beyonce still get tired. You know what I'm saying? She has hormonal changes and cycles just like we do. Beyonce has the dream job, and I mean, I would just imagine there have been some times that she probably didn't feel her best, whether it's mentally or physically, and she still had to get up there and get on that stage and perform. You know, all of that to say, even when we get there, when we are her, we still got to show ourselves grace because we're still only human. Yeah, you know. So that's where I'm at, y'all. That's where I'm at with it. Mhm. Friends. Why y'all up this late? Are y'all going to work? And then let me see. Who wait, hold on. So actually, Tanisha, my dad was an alcoholic. My dad struggled with alcoholism, and my mom was addicted to drugs. And that was why I said, I would never ever even experiment with drugs because I knew I had that trait on both sides of my family. But I've also been transparent with y'all that, during my trauma and stuff, I have experimented with some shit I didn't have no business. Well, not nothing crazy. Let me just take that back. I started smoking and vaping. Let's just be clear. I started smoking and vaping. And also, y'all, I did start drinking. And the crack was tea is I hate the taste of alcohol. Hate it. But I was so fucked up. I was so depressed. I was so literally overwhelmed at times that I just needed a mask. I needed something to make me feel better temporarily. And when I was working my job, y'all, I was going to work high and drunk. And I knew I didn't want to be that person. So that was like a wake up call to me. I was just like, this is so low vibrational. And I don't want to be her. And I'm not her. I knew that just wasn't who I was. And I was just like, nah, D, you gotta do something better. This is not you. You've come too far, you know what I'm saying? And you really have accomplished too much to be doing this. And then D, you smarter, you know that this is not helping. You know that this is just a mask, and you know that this is just your way of trying to avoid and run away. And that's a deeper issue that I'm working on, trying to figure out like where my issues of avoidance come from. You know how some people have like abandonment issues? Like I said, I don't recall any of that from my childhood, but I'm learning that this is me, y'all. Let me tell y'all this. I'm learning that the reason I feel like I have a track record for attracting emotionally unavailable men. Hence the realblackharrybradshaw.com. Hence the realblackharrybradshaw.com. For real. I have a track record of emotionally unavailable men. And, going through it, I always wanted to put on the other person. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Pregnant, and he literally ghosted while I was losing our baby. Um, and with, Mr. Big, of course, of almost 20 years, you know what I'm saying? Me wanting him and him being evasive and da da da. And if you attract what you are, hmm yeah, yeah. So when you manifesting, when you're attracting, you using the laws of attraction, that goes both ways. You create your reality. Okay. You created this. I had to look at myself. I had to start, people are, and now and this is not to say if you attract somebody that's coming in whooping your ass and being abusive, it's not to say that you brought that on yourself. That's not what that is. Because everybody has trauma and stuff like that. But it's actually deeper than that. It's like, not to say that you manifested an abusive partner, but it could be that because of your mindset, because of your beliefs, your sense of self-worth is so low that you just attract somebody else whose self-worth is that low. And they just happen to have behaviors, they happen to act out in ways that are abusive. So I hope that makes sense. Yep. Yes, P. The real Black Carrie Bradshaw.com. So, trying to understand where my issues of avoidance come up, because here I am now in my 40s, and when it comes to relationships, I'm learning that I got a little bit of commitment issues. Shh. I be like saying I want a relationship and stuff, and that's why I wear my ring, because I'm trying to see myself being committed long term. Y'all, I love my space. I love my peace. I love my life. I've been on my own longer than I've ever been with anybody. So that is my comfort zone. So I am manifesting companionship, you know. Um Somebody had asked me like, "Well, do you want to be married?" And I was just like, "Oh, well, I don't know. I like it sounds good. Do I actually want a marriage? I don't know. I love the idea of it. Um, but I am working on, you know, trying to feel safe enough to be vulnerable enough with somebody in that way, and to commit to somebody and trust that they're going to commit to me." Yeah. Mhm. Usually faint signs are there, but we see a bigger picture that most like won't come to fruition. Faint signs are there, but we see a bigger picture that most likely won't come to fruition. I don't know where that comment came in, what I was saying at that time. Um, but the struggle between yeah, the struggle between wanting to be booed up, want to be a lover girl and wanting your own space is real, you know. I had started, hold on, y'all, let me make sure. I had started seeing someone, and we had started seeing each other like heavily every day. And um I liked him, but I was just like, whoa, I need my space, daddy. Like mama needs her space. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, lover girl, but I also want my space. I'm trying to juggle that, y'all. I'm trying to find the balance. I think balance is another one of my core desired feelings. And Tanisha, you got the desire map book, didn't you? You must read a lot, because I heard you say that you have the Happy Pocket Full of Money. You got or maybe that was P who got that on Spotify. But Tanisha, didn't you tell me you had heard about The Artist Way by Julia Cameron? Y'all are avid readers, it sounds like. And I told y'all earlier today about the desire map. And Tanisha, I feel like you said you got that from my link. It was what, $5, $6 on Amazon? Talking about your core desired feelings. And I told y'all mine are peace, ease, and pleasure. Well, also, I feel like balance. I don't know if that's necessarily a core desired feeling or just an intention that I'm trying to be more mindful to have, because when I stopped working, when I resigned from my job at the end of May, I initially was like, oh yeah, I had all these plans to like really take, getting on social media and creating content and stuff like that. Oh, that was my desire. That was my goal. And I was really going to do that. Well, that was my best self. Those were her ideas. Those was her plans. My current self, when I stopped working, my current self was like, ooh, we need a break. We need to rest. And so I was resting, and of course I used it, I rationalized it under the umbrella of self-care and all of these things, which was true because my nervous system was so frazzled from not even just working that job, but probably getting to a place of just built up anxiety from hustle, being in my masculine energy, not feeling appreciated by my job, from relationships, trauma. I felt like I just had got to this place where stuff was internally running over. And started seeing a psychiatrist, you know what I'm saying? And then meds weren't working. Then that's when I went to self-medicating. And I was just like, something gotta give, y'all. This ain't it. This ain't it. And so that's, and again, I knew in my brain that I was the only one who could fix it. And it was really a matter of I needed to work on me. I knew that. But again, she's a runner, she's a track star. You know, because one of my core desired feelings is pleasure, I use that as a distraction. And I recognized that I was doing that. I'm distracting myself. I'm going to go shopping. I'm going to get on Amazon. I'm going to DoorDash some good food because pleasure is my core desired feelings. Okay, well, I'm gonna distract myself with food. I'm gonna go out with this restaurant. I'm gonna put on this cute little outfit and go take pictures and go outside so I can feel better, when I was running away. I didn't want to come face to face with what was actually hurting me. So I didn't want to deal with it. I kept running away from it. I kept trying to put a mask over it. And then, like I said, getting to the point where I'm drinking and smoking at work on my job. And then I know how manifestation works. So I'm in my mind thinking this is not going to end well. you know and where your energy goes, where your attention goes, your energy flows. And y'all, I just was like, oh y'all, this is not gonna end well. I just didn't see it going well. And so I knew that it was time for me to fix it, to fix myself, to do the work. You know what I'm saying? I used to watch Young all the time, and I used to watch these. I'm like, it is not that deep. People got some issues. Well, I hadn't come to the point in my life where I had discovered, where I realized, yeah, you one of them people. Like, we all have trauma. We don't always show it, especially here on social media, but baby, we all got trauma, you know? So, mhm. Mhm. Heard about the Artist Way in a crafting group. Okay. And ordered, same. I got it on Audible. And I think I got the book somewhere too. But yeah, that's where they talk about morning pages. I think I read maybe the first chapter or two. Um, so yep, The Artist Way is a good read. Reading something you picked up last year, used to love it when you were younger. Curious to know what that is, Tanisha. What book you picked up last year that you used to love it when you were younger? Uh-huh. And this is where I am now, dependent on the income to survive. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Core desire. Yes. P. I showed y'all that book, and it's in my Amazon. Ask Tanisha. Tanisha, tell us again, how much did you pay for that book on Spotify? I got mine on Amazon, and it was, I think when I bought it, it was probably like $10. I think I got it last year. But when I looked at it on Amazon last week, it was literally less than $6. And I love everything about that book. It's so easy to read, especially on Audible. I love her voice. I love her style of reading, and it just resonated with me. And it helped me understand, like I said before, on this whole manifesting journey. I don't care what it is, whatever it is, whatever the physical thing is you think you're trying to manifest, if you go beyond the physical, it's something non-physical that you really want. It's an emotion, it's a feeling. And so the desire map, that book shows you how to identify your core desired feelings so that you can be intentional of them more regularly. And when you know align with the feelings of ease and pleasure and ease, pleasure, and what's my other one? Ease, pleasure, and peace. If you know that's how you want to feel, and you know that everything that you're manifesting goes back to those core desired feelings, well, just focus on feeling those feelings every day. Because when you focus on the feeling, y'all know how Abraham Hicks says, feeling good is the work. Feeling good is the most important thing on this manifestation journey. You have to put feelings when you say your affirmations, even talking about manifesting our dreams today and going through these manifestation methods, how they're telling you when you write out your desires, feel the feeling with it, put an emotion with it. That's what the core desire, the desire map book shows you, and she takes you all the way through. It's a process. It's a process, and I listened to it probably over the course of maybe a week or two, to listen to it from start to finish. And I told y'all, most of the time, the bulk of it when I read it was in the car and not in my home. So it's literally, I'm driving somewhere and I'm listening to it for, minutes or hours at a time. I didn't really just sit in my house and read that book, and I still got it done in the course of about a week or two, because it was that good and it was that thorough. And again, once you identify your core desire feelings and you intentionally practice aligning with those feelings on a daily basis, for me, that's what I attribute to my manifestations coming. I don't feel peace, bliss, and pleasure all day, every day. But every day, I look for a reason to feel good. I look for an opportunity to feel pleasure. Most of the time, that comes in around the time that I'm going to eat. Like tonight, I went and had dinner with my family, and I felt amazing. I felt ease. I felt pleasure. I felt peace. I felt balance, you know? So I can literally say at some point every day, I am aligned with the frequency of my manifestation. And where you place your attention is where you place your energy. Where your attention goes, energy flows. What you think about the most is what you're going to see. That's why my life is happening. That's why my manifestations are happening. Not as fast as, you know what I'm saying, maybe I want them to, but I'm okay. Like, cuz I have confirmation. I know I'm on the right track. I know that this version of myself that I see, I know it's a real person, because I felt her today. I showed up as her today. I'm still her. When I get off this call, I'm going to get off and do the night care routine of my best self. Some days I don't do that. yes, sometimes maybe my day didn't end on a high note. Um, and I won't do my night care routine. I just get to bed and like, oh, whatever. But tonight, I'm her. I'm still that girl. So, some nights I'm gonna take a shower, some nights I'm gonna take a bath and like light my candles and do the things. Some nights I'm gonna intentionally, put on my favorite pajamas. I am going to, when it's a good night, my best self, because my best self lives in like a big house and she has this gorgeous bathroom. And I see her at night, like doing her skincare routine. Well, I don't have the bathroom setting yet that she has, but guess what? I'm still doing what she does. So I am embodying that version of myself. I'm doing it so that when I do get the house with the dream bathroom, oh, this stuff I do anyway. I'm her. I'm her right now. I'm just waiting for all the other things to line up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So Tanisha, I see that you got the book from the Amazon. You got it from, oh, you said you got it from our Amazon storefront, and it was $5 and some change. Told y'all. Order it right now, P. And then we can have a virtual book club. I love the Desire Map. I love the Desire Map. Just checked it. Just checked, and it's $6.99 plus shipping. Okay. 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 Prime has it for $12 right now. I think I paid somewhere around 12, no more than $15 for mine. And it was worth every penny. I'm telling you, I've read it a couple times in its entirety. And if nothing else, it just inspires me. It inspires me. Now, what I do like about it, especially if you get the Audible version of it, is because tells you right now, make sure you have some time to really think about this because it's actually a workbook and you can go through and write your stuff down. And I didn't go through all of the I didn't go through all of the processes physically because I told you I most of the time I was in my car when I was doing it. And that's just when I most of the time get the bulk of my reading is just like when I'm in the car. Even if I am driving, if it's at a good part, I'm gonna sit in my car and finish the chapter before I come in the house. Because what happens is the reason why I don't read in my house most of the time, I promise you, I fall asleep. If I'm on the couch, I'm trying to read this book, or if I go back in my bed, try to read a book, I'm asleep. I'm asleep. And I have literally been in bed and the thing and hit me in the face a few times. So I just read in my car. I listen in my car. Um, Yes, her voice is so calming, but it's really easy to go through, at least for me, having that Audible version, y'all. Ho, ho, ho. Yes, yes, yes. I was waiting for y'all to get in here. I was literally waiting for y'all to get in here when I first got on. And hold on. Did they say they gonna kick me off because I need to do this little thing? Hold on. All right. TikTok will be like, oh, you need to. All right. So, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, we can definitely do that. We could definitely do a book club for the Desire Map. We can just get on here and talk about it. Like I've gone through it a couple times, but I would love y'all's perspectives. And so for Sunday, more than likely, I am going to do it live here, but y'all, I do want to move into a space of maybe something like a Zoom room just so I can feel more safe. And by that, I mean, when I get on live, um, when I get on live, I be seeing different people pop in and mm, I just don't feel sometimes there have been people who've shown up on my live that have caught me by surprise. And I'm saying a safe space. I'm like, I think what I want a little bit more privacy. I want a more control space where it is just people that I know and I feel their intentions. So Sunday and for the foreseeable future, I'm gonna continue to do these lives. Um, But I think for some of the conversations, I think I do want it to be a little bit more exclusive. So at some point I see um me changing the format, or maybe at least including an additional format, whether it's like a Zoom room or something. Because also I want us to be able to communicate more in real time, even keep y'all cameras off, but just being able to like actually, and it's not a delay of, oh, I gotta go back and read the comments and be like, oh, well, what was that comment in response to? Just a little bit more of a connection, if that makes sense, y'all. But that's just an idea that I have coming later on down the pipeline. And Tanisha, thank you for saying my name, because so many people will just call me Carrie. They just be like, Carrie. I'd be like, you talking to me? But yes, yes, definitely will love a safe space. Working on that. I'm with you 100%. I feel, yeah, I get it. I see you. I feel you. I hear you on that. Mm-hmm. May Oh, see, I'm still learning how to work. Well, hmm, maybe that can be a subscription feature. Wonder how would that work? Because TikTok, with the subscription, TikTok basically tells, from my understanding, and I'm new to it, but when I signed up to do the subscription, they told me what I could offer with the subscription. Now, maybe I just didn't do enough research. Maybe there are other offerings, additional features, but I will definitely look into that. I will definitely look into that. Cause yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Whoo, y'all, it's 11:30. And yes, I know I don't have nowhere to be tomorrow, but I'm ready to shower. I'm ready to go wash my face. And I am really ready to I might listen to a little bit more of this book tonight instead of doing my affirmations. And actually I actually need to work on some more slides. And before I go to sleep, I need to, I am going to go ahead and create this live link before my head hits the pillow, because tomorrow is Wednesday, and Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, my goal was I wanted to have it out Monday, but um I procrastinated. Adding subbies to a Discord, or other platform. Oh, I know what I could do. We could let me see. Let me see. Cuz I'm trying to think of when I've joined other people's things. I think they were like just through Zoom or something. I know what Discord is. I stopped using it. I haven't used it in a while. I'll say that. So I have to get back familiar with how it works. Um, but okay, okay. I'm gonna look into it, Tanisha. I'm gonna look into it and see how we can make this happen, and also how I can add some additional value to the subscription feature. Um, yeah, we're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work. I'm gonna get off here so that I can create this live link. I'm gonna hop in the shower. I'm gonna get my little butt in the bed because I am tired. My eyeballs are itching. Cause y'all, I didn't go to bed until like 5 o'clock this morning. I was up working on this presentation for Sunday. I had just well, I'm not gonna lie. I had started working on it, and then I took like a 3 hour break in the name of self-care, because I had been working all day yesterday doing content and doing all this other stuff. And I had got a headache. I stopped and got something to eat, and I put on Below Deck, and then I think I binged a couple of episodes of that. And then I didn't start back working until this time last night. And I ended up working until 5 o'clock this morning, woke back up at 8:30 this morning. So like all day today, I'm going off with 3 hours of sleep, and my eyes are itching. So I'm gonna get in the shower. I'm still gonna put on I gotta do my skincare tonight, because I'm that girl. Um, and then I'm gonna be right back on here tomorrow with our affirmation session in the morning. Use keywords and TikTok so I don't think you're trying to redirect traffic. Yeah. All right. Good night, P. Good night, Tanisha. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for all of the engagement, all of the support, all of the energy, not just today, but for these past couple of days. The quote, the legendary Russell Simmons, thank y'all for coming out. God bless you and good night. I will see y'all tomorrow for affirmations. Have a good night, y'all.